Hi, so today we're going to do a little card tutorial. Obviously we're quite a few weeks into lockdown now, and lots of the grandparents out there are really missing their grandchildren. So this is a really lovely card idea to send out. So this is it. Ta-da! It's a hug card. Okay, so we're going to start by making our hand prints. Now you can use any colours for this, or whatever paint you've got available, and you're going to mix it up quite loose, and we're going to go ahead and paint our hands. Okay, this is the really messy bit, and we're going to take our hand and paint. Lovely. And try and get a nice lot of paint on there. Obviously my hands are quite big, but if you've got little kids they'll probably look a bit nicer. And then we're going to do two prints. So we're going to do one on one side. Amazing, look at that. And then we do one on the other side. So I'm just going to get a bit more paint on my hand. I can get a little bit more in. And I'm actually going to spin my paper round so that I'm doing it in the opposite direction. So there's a little bit more space. Just make sure you can see that. There we go. I'm going to go in here and print a second one, and that's just so I can get both my hands prints on the one piece of paper. And peel that off there. Lovely. There we go, our lovely hand prints. And I'm going to paint my other hand green. It's a little bit harder because I've got to paint with my left hand, but obviously it's not exactly needs to be perfect. So we're just running that paint over. And I'm going to do two more prints of this hand. So just pop the paint on. And we're just going to place that down nicely. A bit more paint on. Getting covered in paint, always fun. Okay, and then again I'm going to spin my paper around and I'm going to do the print this way around. Okay, we're going to cut these out individually, so it's quite nice to give yourself lots of space, but oh, hello Lucy, but use the space efficiently. Okay, so there's my two sets of hand prints. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut these out, and we're just going to do a rough shape around the edge. You don't have to be too precise. I'm going to cut one out and then I will whip around and cut the others out. So do let them dry a little bit before you start cutting them out. But this is a really fun craft to do with the kids, and all those lonely grannies will be very appreciative of it. So there's my first hand, and I shall go ahead and cut the other three out. So we've got four hand shapes like this. We've got a heart shape which we've cut out just from cards. I've just folded a piece of card in half and cut out the half heart, which is much easier, and then open it out to create a nice heart shape. You can do this just in paper and colour it in, absolutely fine. I've cut four strips of card. I've got this, it's the card that I have, so it's this ombre, different colours on either side. But any bits of card are fine. You could cut up a cereal box, absolutely fine, and quite nice to use some of the patterns and things on there. And then I've just got one piece of, I'm actually using a card, it's not stiff card, but it's slightly heavier than just sort of copy paper, but you could do it on copy paper if that's all you've got. So we're going to take our card and we're going to start layering it up. And first of all, we're going to take our four sticks and we're going to place them facing into the middle like this, and we're going to glue all four down. So I'm going to start with one. I just quite fancy the pink on the outside, but you could just whatever card you've got available is absolutely fine. Two, 3, and I'm just not sticking it over the crease in the middle, just make it easier for your card to fold. And I've got my heart. I'm just using a stick glue. You could use a liquid glue if you wanted, just have to wait a little bit longer for it to dry. So your heart, you have a fold down the centre, and we're going to line that up with the fold on our card. So we're going to just pop the glue on the back. Match up that centre line and position it where you want it, stick it on. So already it's looking rather funky, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, stick that down nicely, and then we're going to stick a hand on the end of each stick. So I'm going to get my glue, and I'm going to pop the glue on there and stick it on. I'm going to do a green one up here, I reckon. Red and a green down here. Okay, on here. Stick this one down. Put the glue on here. Stick this one down. And pop the glue on to the last one. Down here. And then all we need to do, apart from put the lid on the glue, always put the lid back on your glue, is write in the bottom, and we're going to write hug. And I'm going to go back over that. And you could do some really nice writing. I'm going to do some bubble writing around it, just to make it a bit more visible. There we go, I'm going to go around this one. There we go, and look! Hug! Oh, look at that. Any granny who's missing their grandchildren will be really, really happy to receive that. And just pop it up, fold it up, and you have to get a nice big envelope to fit it in. Obviously with children's hands they'll be a bit smaller than mine, but what a delightful thing to get. And when you open it up,